Yay. Is that Eastern or Eastern time?
It's UTN.
Shit. Oh,
That's awesome.
Right on.
Jeez Louise, what a guy.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, look at that. That looks like me in the 70s.
Oh, God.
Is that Pokey?
Good call. You got any oregano, man? Winnipeggers!
Come on in,
Winnipeggers!
Guy, how does he come up with this stuff? He's even got he's got the subtitles, got telling a little story here.
Yeah. I love that. I love when people just run straight down the street when they're getting chased by a vehicle. It's always
a giant bus with guys swinging axes and shit after him.
See, I knew where to go.
Yeah, thanks. Spivak leading the way.
Yeah, I'm good at being afraid. Good at getting into the corridors of life.
I always loved how he jumped the subway there.
No kidding.
I could never do that fall.
No. Can barely lift my leg up anymore.
Hey, you got a birthday coming up, you know.
It's all over. It's all over for me. Birthday.
That was real Winnipeggers. We'd all just run right into the turnstile and like bag ourselves, basically. Dave's looking good.
That's a good look. I could maybe pull that off.
Oh, that was excellent. Of course, the great Rod Stickler every week. Oh, geez, I think I missed the end of it there. Hold on. I better go back. I think there might have been a special cameo there. Let's see the very end of it. See what we got there. Hold on.
There's a bit of his Albert Hitchcock right at the end, or is a silhouette coming out there. Oh, here we go.
Let's see what we got. Teddy.
That's a way to get Teddy to watch the show.
Special cameo.
I'm so glad you went back. That was way better than I thought it would be.
Amazing stuff from the great Rod Stickler. Of course, a little bit of a homage to the awesome Warriors right there, which was great. And it's funny because Ajax, our friend Ajax, I actually started calling him that because of that movie. Because if you look at him, he kind of looks like a young Ajax, look like a young Ajax, shall we say.
Oh.
So if you ever wondered where where the name Ajax came from, that's where it came from. It was from the Warriors. So so we're here. I'm actually going to do a little light adjustment. Let me just try something here. So talk amongst yourselves for a second.
So I didn't realize that Ajax's name wasn't really Ajax, and that it's like, hey, my friend Dave. Like Dave, sometimes when he gets really drunk, he sounds like Super Dave, so that's why we call him Dave Spivak. Even though his real name is Dave Spivak.
That's only when I lose my voice from the night before, and then my Funkhauser.
Funkhauser, exactly. Great stuff here, though, guys. We're back again.
We're not going away. We're not going away.
You're trying to get
tired,
rid of us.
But we're still here.
Dave, how's your health lately? Everything okay or what?
The rickets turned out to just be a minor little thing. I ended up just taking some vitamins, and I'm doing okay. I'm stuffed up a little bit. I don't have the vid or anything, but I'm doing okay.
And all these other issues kind of
hold on a second here.
A little audio coming through.
You're talking to yourself over there. What's happening?
I don't know where it's coming from either. I'm not sure what's going on.
Jeez, you're haunted by your own ghost.
Oh my gosh!
Too many things going on that hard drive.
What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
Jeez Louise, we got our own little ghosts going on around here.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. I was wondering why I didn't get any response from either of you. I thought, whoa, that was a real bomb.
They're getting set it up and saved it for later. Yeah, I was gonna
love it.
What's that?
Everything that's done in real life is now on this show. Everything. That's the way it is.
Yeah, that's one of Dave's favorite movies that he just can't get over because it's not very good at all.
Oh, come on. 1983 is The Changeling, George C. Scott. It's scariest movie ever. Haunted house. A boy that's killed 75 years prior who haunts the home, killed in the 1800s. Ooh, that's really scary. And the house is scary as hell.
It's a slow-moving movie.
It's not a slow-moving movie at all, man. It is a dynamite movie.
Jeez Louise, I don't know what keeps going back to this stupid ghost. I'm trying to get the fan mail from last week because we got a whole bunch.
Wow.
Apparently, there's just people talking, and there's ghosts going on over here, and slow-moving movies, and a lot of different things going on. But we had a lot of great response last week for our show and tell live. And when I just went to check out the ads for some of the responses, we got an ad. Expedia is now advertising on our YouTube channel, which is ridiculous, man.
Big money.
Awesome.
I mean, that means that's pretty big money, right, Rybo? I mean,
I have no idea, but it sounds great.
Know,
and I can't wait for that check to show up in my mail.
I haven't checked the PayPal lately, but I bet you it's a big amount.
Expedia is where you buy your movie tickets and stuff. Actually, your plane tickets. But if you want to watch a movie and it's a long flight, then you can buy a plane ticket and do both. So
nice.
Robert Schulenberger, who we've had a little bit of an issue with in the past.
Yeah.
We might get to hear Irvas talk about December 9th in San Diego. Although it's terrible. Robert, come on, give us a better. So Chris says the flask from Mox is awesome. What a rad dude.
Yeah.
Great show, guys, is what John Bienda says. Reagan Walker says, I got a great collection of perfumes that I want to show you on Show and Tell. So I'm not sure if you guys are interested in that, but if you are, Reagan can give us a fine selection of perfumes.
Maybe for the next show and tell, we should have people send in videos and they can just send in all their show and tell stuff. I'm sure
that's a good idea.
Lenny's stuff, but I mean,
that's
a great idea. We can totally do that.
We can sit there and they take over the show. I love it.
We just take the night off and just we have other people showing.
We send them a link. We don't even show up.
That's good to know in case we're ever like on location or something like that. If we're ever on set when the corporation gives us a huge advance, that could be a way to do the show even when we're not around to do it.
I blew through mine already, but yeah.
Your advance?
Yeah.
Well, look at Dave. Dave's like waiting for the check to come in. He's got a grand piano.
Yeah,
in the back
I'm getting a little worried, man. There's bills that are due on this place. I hope they didn't stiff me.
I just hope the repo men show up while we're doing a taping and they say, "Well, what are you doing?" And they start taking all that fake stuff in the back.
It'd be like the Killer Dwarfs video, and they take them away where they're playing the instrument still. Heavy metal, that's the cure.
Oh man!
Put Dave in a straitjacket.
Wouldn't be the first time.
What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
It's a hand. It's a hand.
I had to cut that off because it makes no sense. We got a great show this week, guys. It's shoplifting. All of us have been involved in that in one way or another. A place you couldn't shoplift, though, is Kernhill Furniture in Winnipeg. Great place. Quality couches.
Yep. Furniture. Yeah.
Patio sets, dining room sets.
Patio lanterns, and I talk about Kim Mitchell.
Yeah,
they got pretty much everything there, and they're hot right now, which is of course why they wanted to, attach themselves to the Winnipeg freight train, just like Expedia did. Expedia, you can buy plane tickets to anywhere, and Colonel Furniture, you can buy whatever you want, and they are this week's sponsor, and we thank them for that. And let's leave it up to Colonel, guys.
Warehouse madness going on now. Warehouse madness going on now at Kernhill Furniture Co-op. $1 million in furnishing and appliances at markdown prices. These prices apply to in-store, in-stock merchandise only. Yee-haw! You'll find bargains galore throughout the store. We have only name brand furniture. Plus, you can use our revolving credit card system, and all merchandise is fully guaranteed. Yee-hoo! So come on down to Warehouse Madness, going on now at Kernhill Furniture Co-op, 843 Main Street. Come on down.
Very nice. I like the callback to Whirlpool.
the other fake place.
Yeah, exactly. There actually was a place called similar to that. We don't want to get sued. So
they're still around.
Still there.
Yeah. That's why you got to go incognito when they still exist. We don't want to get sued for our Expedia money.
Good point.
The number one son took it over, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. Was that Nick Hill? was the guy with the cowboy hat, and he was like just always talking about number one son came in and bought 2 couches or whatever.
No, he would say, "Oh, the number one son left the sofa making machine on over the weekend, and we have a blowout for you." And he would come into radio stations and one take it, always ad lib it, one take it. I saw it once live. Him do that. It was amazing.
Good stuff there.
He could have been on Winnipeggers.
Yeah.
Rival's become one of the master commercial men here. On the Winnipeggers, which we really enjoy. Thanks for
I'm
that.
not gonna pay you any money for it, but that's. I always thought that guy he looked like Boss Hogg or something. I was gonna put
totally.
Boss Hogg in there, but I always remembered Fred Flintstone's cousin or whatever would show up. He was a really rich guy, and he'd have a big cowboy hat.
Yeah.
So that was one of the guys in there. So I always thought they were kind of the same. I like to put a little bit of cartoons in there. Makes me feel better.
Yeah. It's good stuff. I enjoy it. Dave, you I saw when you were watching, you had a little bit of a frown. You were enjoying the commercial, but I can see there's something bubbling under the surface, perchance. Something bothering you?
It's a little bit.
There's a little bit of things that have been ticking me off lately. There's
really? Well, I guess it's time.
Dave's rant. He's really pissed. It's excellent. Dave's rant. Let's watch him lose his shit.
Kind of had it with eating expired meat. You eat some rotten meat, and sometimes it pays off for you, and you take the risk, and sometimes it doesn't. And yesterday it didn't. And so I really thought that was something that people got to stop doing that. I got to stop doing that.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't be eating expired meat anyways.
Well, sometimes they say with dairy products or something, they'll say it lasts a couple days after. I get confused. I thought maybe the corned beef would be the same thing. It was a little bit psychedelic looking, so I probably should have stayed away from it. A little blue and purple looking. I've kind of had it with people that are dragging on stories that go nowhere. If it's just something as simple as, I got loaded or I got drunk, just say it right away. I don't really even have to hear the story.
You don't want to hear the details?
Yeah, unless you're in jail, it's not going to matter. It's not going to change my life. I've seen it all. I've heard it all. I've done some of it. I've talked about the iPhone and all the stuff with the iPhone. But here's the thing: is I'm going out to Lake Louise tomorrow to do snowboarding, first time for the season. Very excited, very excited. This thing will die. It dies within maybe 20 minutes because somehow the iPhone battery doesn't work in this country, and you freeze to death with a piece of shit with a shitty phone is what's going to happen. And if you're in the bush, you're in the trees or something, you break your ankle. And you can't phone anybody. You're just screaming, "Help!" HALP, and you're screaming, "Help! Help! Help!" So
you're looking for a place to charge your phone. You're looking around, and there's nowhere, just trees and snow.
No dice.
It's a terrible thing. And I'll tell you one thing that I'm not going to do if that happens. If I break an ankle or something, I'm not going to go on Facebook and look for sympathy and talk about it and over-talk about it and throw any dirty laundry in there.
Hate that.
Me and so, we broke up and this is happening and blah, 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 and it's not my fault, or I didn't like this, and the dirty laundry on Facebook. And there's a few of you out there that are still doing this. I'm watching. I won't delete you because I love the train wreck. But enough already. You call somebody, you tell them that stuff. Enough with the Facebook dirty laundry. It doesn't make any sense at all. These Instagram reels, they're exciting. I don't know if you guys got into these things. They're not the Instagram stories, but they're the reels. Rivals is looking at us like, what the fuck? It's Ryan. It's on a thing called a computer phone. It's really something.
iPhone. What is that? He's still got a Rye phone.
But they waste a lot of my time because you constantly keep flipping their little 5-second deals. That's all supposedly in 2021 that you can handle now. Nobody watches this whole show, I'm sure. Give me 5 seconds. I want 5 seconds. You're trying to sell me something? You got 5 seconds. Right. Like, oh my God.
Wow. So a story on Instagram is just for me and the viewers at home that are.
It's not a story, but yeah.
It's not a story. A story is like 1 minute, which is
15 seconds is a story. This is a reel. And it's really cool. So, you really like it, actually, because I know you like watching Daredevil stuff. So it'll show somebody jumping out of a plane or something. But they always have the same canned music that goes with it and dumb things. It's like there's always somebody doing something risky. And then there's this little jingle like, I'm going to do some sketchy stuff. Doo-dah, doo-dah. And it's annoying after a while. It's just like, oh, I'm going to kill myself. Yes. So I don't have a lot today. I don't enjoy. You guys just laughed, and that's nice. And I appreciate that. But don't over laughing would probably kill a guy like me at this point. I got a birthday coming up. things are going to change hard. The big one's coming up this January. Broke my collarbone almost a year ago. Things are getting weird. This is the big one. Yeah.
Wow. So we have to have Speewee's 50th celebration.
Oh, great.
That is the big one, right? 50.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, but 49 might mean something to you or something like that. But we actually have a show this year on January 6th.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Well, I'll be in Banff. I won't be doing the show. I'm going up snowboarding for a few days.
You're already contracted.
We'll have to pre-tape them. Everyone else gets a pre-tape. I'll get a pre-tape too.
Yeah.
It'll be my boxing day.
Speewee's live birthday celebration, January 6th.
I'll also be at Ukrainian Christmas dinner, so maybe Dave and I can just send our parts in. We can mail them in or whatever. And
January is a rough month. Dave's birthday, Ukrainian Christmas, I think Chinese New Year's around there somewhere.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough for us to be doing some shows.
The trifecta of fun over there.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's a little bit of a rant-ski there, and we got a good subject today, shoplifting, which I believe is written by Dave. Which would tell me that you probably have some shoplifting stories at least. I mean, don't we all? Especially this guy, straight off the Jericho cruise, the very mysterious, very evil, and very nice Danhausen.
Very nice, very evil, very famous, very injured. Whatever. They're doing the things, evil things. This is to the Winnipeggers, Winnipegger housings. Here we go. Pretty good, I hope. Let's see. This is from Chris Housing. The occasion is a question. Okay. Please say hello to the Winnipeggers, Speewee Housing, Ribo Housing, and Irvis Housing. All right, well, say hello. How are you? Doing pretty good, I hope. Yes, well, nevertheless, then I was doing very well.
Oh, my
suppose.
God.
Let's see. Please answer our question. Have you ever shoplifted anything? Thank you. Oh, well, to Danhausen's recollections, it would appear not, but he was kicked out of pro wrestling tees twice. The store. Because they accused Danhausen of shoplifting, but he was only taking his own t-shirts, which he thinks he has the right to take for free. Free swag. So, I suppose... No, Danhausen never shoplifted anything. He's also kicked out of that comic book store for putting, well, this is not shoplifting, he was dropping off merchandise to make money. Danhausen was putting comic books on the shelf, covering the other ones no one buys, like Spider-Man or whatever, and they kicked him out for that. So, it's the opposite of shoplifting, but Danhausen got that too. Who knows? I don't know. Anyways, we are enemies, be cursed.
Was that Gatos Candos wearing makeup?
Back to get me.
I do like you said that he was kicked out of Pro Wrestling Tees for shoplifting his own merch, which brings up the question: is it technically shoplifting if we walked into Pro Wrestling Tees, which of course is where our shirts are made, and we took off the Speedy Ribo and Irvas shirts, would that count as shoplifting?
That's a great question. It's a good question.
Yeah, so, I think it wouldn't, but it would. But I do think it's a good segue to, I don't have a shirt to show, but these shirts, you got to get one of these shirts. You don't even have to show them anymore. They're so good. You don't even have to remember a text that came at 4 p.m. today about showing the shirt. That's how good the shirts are.
Why would you just look on the floor to see if there's one lying around? You didn't.
Any wipe ups around here? I don't know.
Same thing. I also like Danhausen's comment about the reverse shoplifting, which is funny. We actually add stuff to the store.
Hey, you can't do that. You're not allowed to
get out of here. Get out of here. Anyways, the Winnipegger shirts and the Danhausen shirts available at ProWrestlingTees.com. Go there and buy some great quality shirts, but do not steal them unless, of course, your name or face is on it, in which case it should be free for everybody. Involved.
Yeah.
Okay. Shoplifting. Dave, you wrote this topic.
Well, I didn't do a lot of shoplifting. I mean, it wasn't anything that I sought after. I had a real guilty conscience. I still do. So there was just a couple
neurotic shoplifting.
No, yeah, it was really. It was like, should I take it? Should I not? Should I stay? Should I go? And I do remember. Okay, one fun story. All of us, when we were about 19, 18, 17, somewhere in there, we used to always go to Georgie's draft night. And we would, draft night was 10 cents to 35 cents a beer, a draft. They spun a wheel and it would land on these things. And for the next half an hour, beer's 10 cents. It's like, holy crap, 10 cents a draft. You'd have to add salt to the beer. Remember that? Just to give it a bit of head.
That's right.
Yeah, it was like, because it was just such garbage, but it got you drunk. And then we would go over to 7-Eleven. And I remember a whole bunch of us would have a contest to see how much we could steal. And we were only doing it just to show off to each other. So we go in there and I would go up and talk to the attendant, and I'd be like, hey, man, all right on. Great seeing you. High-fiving him like crazy. And Matthias is walking around, and he's trying to win the contest to see how much stuff he can take. And then we go to his vehicle after, and we're emptying our pockets. And I had about 26 packs of gum I had taken. I became like a bubblegum dealer in high school. I was so cool. You want some Trident? You want some Dentyne? I got it all. I got it right here in my jean jacket pocket. And but Matthias was the best. He actually walked out of the store. We were just hammered, and he just walked out giggling with his laugh. And I look, and his jacket's just sticking out, and he's got a beef jerky container that was right up at the cash register, and it's like, I mean, twice as round as an ice cream bucket, and a glass jar, like a huge thing where you'd reach in and grab a huge piece of jerky. He's got the whole thing in there from us just, doing a song and dance for the worker or whatever they're called, the cashier,
the attendant,
Yeah, I don't really live in the real world. I don't get out in the wild a lot, so that I always remember that being such a great time. And then I do feel bad, and I want to come clean about something. I went to look at an apartment in Osborne Village in 1992. I feel terrible about this. It was a sublet, and I walked along the kitchen, and there was a Soundgarden cassette tape, and I just took it. I took it. It wasn't mine. It was the people that were probably going through some rough times, and they were subletting, and I just took it. And that's about it for me. There was other things. Jugger and I at Laurie Matchett's cabin stole a dirt bike. The neighbors caught us, though, and chased us down. We were just having a joyride. We're not going to keep it. That's different.
That's a little more than shoplifting. That's called grand theft auto, actually.
Yeah. A couple B&Es, but we didn't take anything. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Save that for the episode 97 at felonies.
Yeah, sure.
We'll do that one from jail.
Yeah.
Yale,
of course. Yeah.
My earliest memory of I got a bunch of shoplifting stories, but my earliest one I can remember, I think it was probably 1980 or so, 81, and we all went to Florida with my mom's, so my uncle and my aunt, all on my mom's side, and my two cousins, and we went to somewhere in Florida. I don't know exactly where it was, and we just went to do all the Floridian things that you could do. And we stopped off at the side of the road or at a gas station, or whatever. And I remember I was wearing sweatpants. Remember when we were in Sansom, that when you're in sewing class, that you would make your own pair of sweatpants?
Yeah.
You guys remember this?
Yeah.
And it wasn't Mrs. Laham, but whoever the sewing lady was.
She was the home ec teacher.
Yeah, Miss Needle or whatever her name was. Yeah. And I was wearing my own pair of sweatpants that had a pocket in them. And these were really shitty, like gray flannel material with red, white, and blue stripes down the side. And the best part was everybody in our school had a pair because that was the design that we all made them. So like any day of the week, there'd be 15 or 30, 20, 50 guys and girls wearing all the same stuff. So anyways, I just remember those sweatpants, and I walked into this gas station in Florida, and for some reason I really wanted some Starburst because we didn't have Starburst in Canada. It wasn't there yet. And I put them in my pocket, and my dad was in there buying something on the other side of the store, and a guy came over to me. It wasn't the attendant. It was just like some guy, like, I don't know, like another, like a trucker, maybe. I'm going to say he's a friendly trucker. And he came over and said, you better take those candies out of your pocket before I say something. And I was like, okay. And I took them out and I put them back in the rack, and I ran outside. I was just thought he's going to tell my dad. He's going to tell my dad. My dad comes out. He's super mad. He's like, I can't believe this. I'm like, I can't believe this. What's wrong, Ted? The paper here costs 50 cents. What a ripoff. And I was just like, oh, yeah, it's a ripoff, Dad.
Oh,
but
wow.
the friendly trucker stopped me from getting in big trouble from Big Teddy for trying to steal the Starburst in my Mrs. Needle homemade sweatpants.
Did you make extra big pockets in there for your
thievery?
inner pockets, the outside ones. There's a waistband with a fake
shitty
flap.
elastic.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
put enough
exactly.
beef jerky in that pocket. Sweatpants fall on ankle. Porkski's pants fall down. Gas station in Florida points and laughs.
Yeah, you could have fit a whole 50-cent paper in there probably. And,
Yeah, right.
don't worry, Dad, I stole it in my homemade sweats.
You got Ribo?
Well, you know what? It's funny. I've never ever shoplifted. I've never stolen anything in my life.
Doesn't surprise me. You've killed a couple men, but
I've
you've never
killed a
stolen.
few people. I've vandalized like crazy. I've thrown rangs. I've passed out. I've done lots of felonies. Okay, I don't want to list them now because that'll be for the felonies episode, which is episode 98 or whatever.
Right.
But I was thinking today, I was like, man, I don't have anything. Maybe I'll just go to Walmart and steal something here. So I got these things from Walmart. Pretty cool. You can get a drumstick pencil.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, that's good enough. I'll just get out of here. And then I'm like, they got drumstick pens too. So I stole that as well.
Oh, that's hilarious. So you're like 48 years old and you just stole your first thing. This is a great moment. Congratulations, man.
You're like Charlie Watts.
Please.
You're like Charlie Watts. He became a heroin addict at 40, and he became a heroin addict at 40. You started shoplifting at 48.
What Walmart store was it? Which one?
Give us the address and give us the attendant's name as well if you can.
Yeah, the worker.
When we were kids, this is not like it is today where these damn kids can just go on any phone and look up porno whenever they want. So back when we were kids, you had to get, if you wanted to see some boobs, you had to see them in magazines or in X-rated videos, which were really hard to find.
Or
so
in real life, even harder.
What's that? Oh,
in real life, which is much more difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to have a bit better game,
especially for us. Yeah,
stealing.
we had no game back then.
Nothing. Exactly.
Stealing is easier.
Yeah. So we used to go to this place called the Red River Bookstore, and it was downtown, and you could buy comics there, used comics. And it was such like a magical place. It's such a magical place, a wonderful place. I feel like Ed Grimley. And you would go in there and you could buy whatever comics you wanted. They had new ones, they had older ones, and they also had albums and cassettes. And then they also had the elusive 18 and over section, which usually had a curtain in front of it. So you had to go behind the curtain if you were really trying to be shifty. So I was in there and I was going to buy, I always try to buy an album every week. And usually I had about $10 because I had a paper route, but some weeks you'd have less. And when I had less, that's when I'd go buy a used album, which would usually cost about $2 or $3 or something like that. So I was really into Iron Maiden, but I didn't have Number of the Beast because it was like, it was evil. And I was like, okay, I'm ready for Number of the Beast now. I've got all the other albums, but I'm not going to pay full price for it. So I'll buy it for like $3 or whatever it was. So I bought it. I was going to buy it. And in right beside it was remember Wii magazine?
Right. Yeah. French or something.
Yeah. This was like a Canadian version of a Playboy or a Penthouse. It was like a cheap one, but it was super filthy. Like
super hardcore. Yeah.
Hardcore.
Like Hustler. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd see some like Yiz shots and a whole bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
It came with real Yiz shots on it.
Actually,
Special
especially
edition.
there at the used bookstore.
So I was like, okay, what do I got to lose? I'm gonna buy this album, but I'll put the Wii magazine in the album like it's a liner note.
Right.
And hopefully the guy won't notice. And if he does, I'm innocent because I didn't know. I just picked up the album.
Yeah, what the hell, yeah.
So I take it.
Some pervert must have done this.
Yeah. So I take it up to the counter, and lo and behold, some 15-year-old kid or whatever. I was like 12, so he was probably 17. Looked like he was 50, and he looks like $2 or $3. Take it. And I walked up the store and I was like, fucking A, yes. So I go home, and whenever I went home, my mom would always ask me what I bought. So because I had bought this, Number of the Beast album, which was a little controversial, and it had a special gift inside of it, I had bought a couple other things. It's like when you go to the pharmacy and you tell the attendant, like, if you want to buy condoms, I want some toothbrush and some gum and some mouthwash and a condom and a comb and what's the third one you said? So
price check on the condom.
check.
No, just put it in the bag. Just put it in the bag.
Yeah. So I bought a couple of things, and so I was like, well, what did you buy? So I said, I got this, and that's good. And she's like, what else? I'm like, oh, just an album. She's like, what'd you get? I'm like, just show me what you got. I'm like, fuck. So I pull the album out, and she's really angry. Number of the Beast. Oh, this is satanic, because she was on this kick that if you play Dungeons and Dragons and listen to heavy metal, that you're going to hell. That was the big thing back then.
Yeah.
And so she was furious that I had bought Number of the Beast. She's like, can you believe you're going to listen to this album? And meanwhile, inside is the Wii magazine. And I'm just like, yeah, I can't believe it. I'm just thinking, if this... And I'm like, okay, well, if the magazine falls out, I'm going to say the same thing that I said to the attendant at Red River Bookstore. I didn't even put it there. I don't know. So she goes, if you want to listen to this stuff, then you got to pay the consequences. Whatever she said. She wasn't a super freaky Jesus person, but she was just angry at the concept of it.
Sure. Most parents were back then. Didn't matter. Yeah.
666, the Number of the Beast, as tame and as part of culture as it is right now, was a real bad, evil thing in 1983 or whatever it was. So she puts the thing down and she slams it down, and she slams in the corner of the magazine comes out just a little bit, just enough. But she slammed it down with defiance and then turned and walked away. And I was like, as soon as she turned, if you remember, Rybo, when you walked in the front door, there was a corner. You walked down the hallway. As soon as she walked in the hallway, I was like, shh. Oh my God. And then I get to remember, the first thing is I hit it. I did not look at that magazine for about a week until my parents left the house. Because not only was it the Wii magazine that I'd smuggled in, it was also stolen, and it was porno and
super hardcore
heavy metal. You know? So it was just like,
it
was the most evil Saturday afternoon for purchases that I ever had.
That was your first of all the felonies that you would do later in your life.
Which
save it for 97.
That's right.
You got any others, Dave?
Not really. I mean, I do remember when everybody, when we were all in high school, and everybody got jobs at Consumers Distributing and shit, and it was always, you need a TV, just go you meet this guy at the BFI Container, and they were working there and just hucking shit in there and picking it up at night. And I remember a couple of, I played basketball in high school in grade 12. And I remember going on some basketball trips, and there was Vernon Krause or Vernon Ness or whatever his name was.
You never knew which one it was.
Right, yeah.
Depends what year it was.
Yeah, right, yeah. And he, I remember he goes, he was working at Safeway or something, and he took a bunch of apple juice on his shift, and he was giving out apple juice. Everybody must have been 16, because who gives a shit about apple juice? Oh, apple juice. And he was drinking it, laughing, and then he had diarrhea. It was all expired. He never looked at the box, but I think he stole a pallet of expired apple juice. Instant karma.
You drink enough.
When I worked at Zellers, which is kind of it was like a Canadian version of Target. It was pretty crazy, because people there would just shoplift in plain sight, which, going back to the old adage, if as long as you act like you're supposed to be there, nobody says anything. So these fucking dudes, I saw it happen with my own two eyes. A guy pick up a TV, like a TV in a box, and just walk out with it.
Yeah, sure.
And the boss of this guy called Mr. What's his name? I can't remember what his name was. He always would say, "Have a good one." At the end of the day, see you later, Mr. Whatever. Have a good one.
Yeah.
And he would chase these guys, and these fucking dudes would run across the damn parking lot. And part of my job as a 15-year-old kid, 16, was chase shoplifters across the parking lot. And it was just what am I doing? What am I gonna do? You know what I mean? I'm not not like I'm gonna punch you in the face and knock you out or something like that. So these guys would just walk out, and they'd take a broom, they take anything they could get their hands on, and they would just walk out and be like, "What they call? We got a runner. We got a runner front. All stop front door. We got a runner." And then some guys just be like, get him. And then we eventually hired a security guard, and that guy was even more useless because he was kind of a chubby guy. So I could outrun him. I'd be like, geez, come on, go cover my shift. Go cover the hardware. Catch this guy.
That's funny.
Because people just didn't give it, right? So
that's funny, because
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm not I never shoplifted, but I've been there for the fruits of other people's labors of shoplifting.
Right.
I had a good friend. Well, actually, a girl that we all know that used to work at Wendy's was great. We used to go through the Wendy's drive-through, and we just get, I'll just get a quarter-pound single, and then she'd hand you a bag with like 3 quarter-pound singles of Frosty.
Oh, yeah, who was that?
Yeah, Lori Fish. Not to mention their name.
Oh,
Statute of
that's
limitations.
30 years ago. Don't worry about
Fishy.
it. Wendy's isn't going to call her right now.
I mean,
Dave
that was
Thomas is on the phone right now calling her saying
Vernon and
we ain't
Lori
talking
Fish
about-
are just hiding in a bunker in Winnipeg right now, just in case.
I made out with Lori Fish once at All Night Drive-In. It was awesome.
I remember that. I remember that.
Ribo watched. How could he forget?
No, because that's the night we drove around to like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning after, remember?
That's right, yeah. And Julian Moffat's station wagon. I remember that.
Listening to Vinnie Vincent Invasion.
You lost one of your chains or something that night or something.
Yeah. I did not shoplift the Vinnie Vincent. The last thing I'll say about shoplifting, though, is I used to have a paper route or route, depending on what part of the country you're from. And that was the foolproof shoplifting vestibule to get anything out of the store. I used to go to Bigelow's all the time. Gloves his mom. Statute of limitation is run out.
Yeah.
It was the pharmacy and like it's like a drugstore, like a Shoppers Drug Mart or Walgreens or whatever. And you walk in there with that damn paper bag. And when there's papers in there, you just come in, I'll take one of these and 2 of these and 3 of these and 4 of these. And no one would ever even check as you walk in with the paper bag. You walk out.
They don't check a man in a uniform or a paper bag.
Yeah.
You get away with murder. We could walk into a mall right now with some kind of overalls, coveralls with some construction bullshit name on the back for sure. We should try this on episode 103 or something. We'll go to like Market Mall in Calgary and we'll steal the furniture that's in the courtyards and stuff. All those leather couches and stuff. We'll just keep walking out with them.
Right.
We'll say hi to the security, do whistle while we walk, and we'd probably get, I bet you anything, 75% chance you're getting away with it clean.
Hey, we got an order here. We got to take this furniture out there. We're waiting. Hey, what am I going to wait for? What am I going to tell Tony? What am I going to tell Tony's
Where do you
waiting?
think-
Did you go in and get that shit right away? We got to
Where do you think I got this sectional right here?
Yeah.
We got a runner. We got a runner.
It was tough
Help!
feeling.
HALP.
Feeling that grand piano with it for Dave there, but we did it. It was tough. But.
Great show, guys. Lots of awesome. Basically, what we want to say on behalf of the Winnipeggers, Speedy, Ribo, and Nervous, we're saying to you, do not shoplift.
No.
It's not worth it. In this
You
day and
can't
age
anymore, yeah.
You can't. You really. Now, all this stuff that we were saying, there's no security cameras back then, really.
Nothing.
Nothing.
A lot of trust
phones.
back then. We ruined it for you guys. We completely ruined it for you.
Yeah, exactly. So, but thanks to the great Rod Stickler for being here, for the amazing intro. Thanks to Danhausen for his reverse shoplifting story. Thanks to Colonel Furniture Co-op for
Colonel.
advertising. Come on down. You can get a nice sectional. Dave may or may not have gotten that Colonel furniture.
He stole it from there.
Yeah, he stole it from there. He pulled a runner. But that's it, guys. Another great show. We'll see you next week. We've got a great topic next week. It's one of the best ones we've had, I think, probably. Don't really remember. Which one is it? Oh,
celebrities who
celebrities who just disappeared.
Yeah.
We did a couple weeks ago. We said bands that should have been bigger.
Yeah.
It's the celebrities that should have been bigger, maybe, or they just disappeared.
they were huge. They just disappeared. They don't give a shit. They're gone. They're gone.
We don't know what happened.
At least to us, they're gone. We don't know. Maybe they're still doing stuff. I didn't Google them. I didn't Google my list, but I think they're gone. Next week.
Busted for shoplifting in like Cuba or something, and they're in Guantanamo Bay.
Right.
For stealing a pack of gum.
From me. I'm a gum dealer. I was a gum dealer back then. For a whole week, I had everything you could imagine, baby.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week, and it's going to be amazing.
Amazing.